all right? We do this once we have grips, so you have to be a little bit fast on this. But we're here, right? I pull one, two, I trip. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we did a video recently where we used Jiu-Jitsu and grappling techniques and applied them to traditional karate techniques. Had a really positive response with that. So I thought today we'd do the opposite. We would take both traditional and sport karate stuff and how we can apply this to our Jiu-Jitsu. Because there is a lot of overlap in any combat sport, regardless of how the rules are, how much contact's available, whether it's striking or no striking, etc. So first thing we'll talk about is blocking and hand fighting and gripping. So you see this, if you're watching the movie The Karate Kid, right? You've seen like this block. It's like one of the most famous blocks, right? We call it kakeyoke or circle block. All right, we also have, you know, like just deflections that we'll do if somebody's trying to punch or kick at us. So we can apply that same concept, all right, to our partner when they're trying to get grips. So a lot of times you'll see beginners who've never competed before, they're reaching out with their arms and they're coming out extended. Well, you're giving that person all the control by having your arms away from you. So what I want to do is I want to make sure I'm keeping everything in tight, whether I'm upright or a more judo style stance, right, or even low, like I'm trying to go for a shot. I want to have my hands in a position where I can deflect and defend his grips, right? I can take the initiative on this, that's fine, but if we're understanding this from a blocking or defensive standpoint, if Rob reaches for a grip, right, it's very easy for me to block and deflect this way. When I do that, it also allows me to take a grip myself. Now I have the control, I have outside position, and I can start looking for a collar. Inversely, if I don't want to come this way, right, I can also go to the outside here, right? That brings the power away. I can grip and I can push that arm away from me. So now he's reaching from across his body to get to my lapel or even my sleeve, all right? If he has my collar already, all right, we can use the same technique that we worked on last week, all right? So using this circular motion to rip that grip away, or even modifying it by grabbing my own lapel first and then pulling away. It's the same exact concept, all right, and then we can start working it. One of the things that sport karate guys get knocked for is that they're light on their feet and they're moving around a lot, which leaves them open to, you know, a lot of other bad things that can happen, which I don't disagree with. But there are some huge benefits being able to move quickly laterally and in and out to control that distance, right? So if we're in here, right, and I can move, right, circling around, right, level changes, boom, right? I can get a grip before he even realizes it, right? And we can also use that, all right, that jabbing type motion to fake out a grip, right? So if I really want this grip here, right, I might be able to drop levels here, in and out, boom, right? And I'm kind of distracting him. And the nice thing about this, if he goes to do that same thing I was doing earlier, where if I just reach for a grip, and yeah, exactly, he's gonna go to block this, right? If I'm in here, boom, right? See how he moves his hand out of the way and opens his collar for me. This does burn up a lot of energy, so that's something to consider. And the last thing we'll touch on, like in sport karate specifically, all the takedowns are usually done in space because clinching for a long duration isn't really allowed. So if I'm in a karate tournament, for example, right, I might have like a brief 2 to 3 seconds where like I slip a punch, I get inside, right, and I look for a trip. So that moment, that teaches us how to notice an imbalance immediately and capitalize on that. So an easy one to do, switch your stance for me. Person comes out, all right, we call this a mirror stance or an open stance, like right v left, sometimes referred to as that. All right, if I understand this and I apply these other things, I'm defending my grips, right? I'm not letting him reach me. I'm moving around, right? See, what's he doing? He's following me, right? So there's 3 ways I can do this. I can get a grip on his sleeve and I can pull him here, right? I can get a grip on his collar, I can pull him here. If I can't get that, I can even just pull his head down. What I'm trying to do is get him to go here and back, right? We do this once we have grips, so you have to be a little bit fast on this. But we're here, right? I pull one, two, I trip. Then I can follow into position, all right? It's a little risky, but if you can pull it off, pull the timing off, it works really well. And that footwork will go super slow this time. And it's basically a foot sweep. I'm pulling one, right? And if I just try to sweep from here, I'm too far away. I want to engage my hips, but I have to crash that distance very quickly. So after I pull, as he's coming back up, I'm taking the shuffle step this way, right? I pull as he comes up, boom, and I'm trying to trip my hip into his hip and trap that foot so he has nowhere to step. What's nice about this is, like, if I miss, maybe he picks his leg up here, boom, right? We're right back, looking for our grips again, and we're still fighting. All right, so those are 3 relatively simple things that if you are, maybe you're a karate guy looking to get into jiu-jitsu, which I actually had some people reach out to me, start with these things that you're already good at, play to your attributes. Inversely, if you do spend a lot of time on the bottom, learn defense, it'll save you some time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.